This is part 3 of our series that shows how our OnTakt production management software works hand in hand with TMAC from Caron Engineering. The last thing we're going to talk about in the series is how the direct integration with TMAC reduces the time it takes to gather information and make smart decisions. So for an example, let's go back to a TMAC Extreme event that we had on Saturday on one of our Akuma LB3000s that we run 24/7. When I get to the machine chart, we can see in the middle of the day there was an extreme alarm from TMAC with a period of downtime right after it. The goal here is how quickly can we find out as much information as possible without leaving the desk before we go out to the shop floor. I can zoom in here so we can see these alarms in more detail. When I click on the vertical line, I get additional data about what has happened here. I can see that it is a TMAC Extreme alarm, it's for tool 3, and whoever was running this machine on Saturday noted that there was nothing unusual about this alarm and that they had changed the tool. We can also see if we cancel out of here and turn on our tool replacement toggle that we can see with the green line they did in fact change tool 3. So not only do we get the alarms directly from the TMAC API, we can also save time looking at the TMAC event viewer by launching it directly from OnTakt. The cool thing about this is that it automatically knows what TMAC job, tool, and section is relevant, so there's less clicking and filtering once TMAC pops up. The first graph that pops up is the last recording of the same cut, but we want to see the one with the extreme alarm. We can use the filter to jump to this quickly because it's automatically told us what the job, tool, and section are, and once we hit apply, we can see the overlay of the extreme cut with the most recent cut. I'm going to bring the graph with the extreme event to the front, zoom in a bit, and move the most recent graph into the background. From this graph, we can see that the horsepower for the extreme event was just past the extreme threshold but didn't have a major spike. This tells us that most likely the tool was wearing out slightly faster than what we have typically seen, and as a result, the machine stopped so that we did not have a catastrophic failure of that tool, which could have led to a scrap part or damage inside the machine. Which is great, and it's why we use TMAC instead of having operators standing at our machines and why they can run 24/7 unattended. Jumping back over to OnTakt, let's take a look at what additional info we can find here. Let's click on the last part that was made before the extreme alarm. This pops up additional info, and we're going to look at the Tools tab. When we find Tool 3 in the Tools tab, we can see that it was at 89% of its expected life, so OnTakt is also telling us that this tool was likely wearing out faster than expected and was changed before damage could be done to the machine. But also, take a look at Tool 9. Tool 9 is also at 89% of its life. On this Saturday, the operator was here for a drop-in shift, and because Tool 9 was also at 89% of its life, they preemptively changed that tool as well. When we back out of this view, we can also see the tool change on our chart. This is another important and key feature of OnTakt. We can predict what tool changes are upcoming, so on a drop-in or unattended shift, we can change tools that we know will need to be changed soon so that this machine will run continuously through the afternoon and overnight without needing additional operator intervention. In this instance, it looks like this TMAC Extreme event ended up being pretty uneventful, which is what we want. So in this case, we don't even need to follow up with the guys on the shop floor. It looks like they handled the event and got the machine back up and running fairly quickly with the bonus of a preemptive tool change of a second tool that would have likely stopped the machine later in the shift or overnight. If you'd like a demo to see how OnTakt can help you make smarter decisions with access to data on your shop floor, then please reach out and we'll spend 30 minutes showing you around.